but I'm very interested in your binary decision tree. So can you show?
Yeah, sure. So the first item in a binary decision tree is that we have two conditions in the market. We have a bear condition and we have a bull condition. So the first decision is which of these two environments we are in right now. So the easiest way, the most painless way to determine this is just to look at the moving average. Let's go to one of those charts that we have the moving average on so that it's easy to visualize this. Let me find one. This one. Yeah, this one can do it. Price above moving average, it's more bullish than bearish.
Right.
Price below moving average, it's probably more bearish than bullish.
Right.
Price on the moving average with a flat moving average, we need more information.
Right.
Which means trading range. Price above moving average, and now the moving average starts to tilt up, more bullish than bearish.
Right.
Right. So there is a very famous book, one of the big books in trading. It's called Trading Systems and Methods by Harry J. Kaufman. If you're doing any kind of programming for trading, you have to read this cover to cover, by the way. It's not much. It's only about 1,200 pages. But Perry Kaufman is one of the grandfathers of algorithmic trading. And in this book, he has done a lot of tests. One of the tests that he has done in the chapter on trending behavior, is to look at different analysis techniques that you can implement in your algorithm to determine whether the market is trending or not.
Right.
And he is very extensive. Like he goes through all the different, indicators and measurement techniques. Do you know what comes on top at the end? A simple exponential moving average. So from a probability point of view, which is all that we care about, the moving average is all that you need.
And what value of moving average is the
Doesn't
20?
matter. Because it just changes your decision time frame. Because if you're using a very long look back period, let's say 50 bar look back, it takes longer for price to transition above the moving average.
Right.
Or if it is sitting on the moving average, that flat period is going to be prolonged. But as long as price is on one side of the moving average, especially if it has been there for several bars, odds are that environment has more probability to show you follow through and that kind of a behavior. Okay, so the first decision is bull or bear environment in our binary decision making.
Right.
Above bull, below bear, on the moving average, wait for more information. And going back to our decision tree now. So that's the market regime filter. Are we in a bear regime or a bull regime? That's always the first decision. And then once we are in this environment, this point can be, I'm making this as I go, right? So the first one is the regime decision. The second one is the behavior decision, which is, are we in a trend or a trading range? So trend, trading range.
Right.
So, or 1 is maybe trend, 0 is trading range. Okay, so we are in a trading range, for instance. Are we in an up leg or a down leg? Okay, for example, down leg.
So this we're already above the moving average. We're in a trading range environment.
Yeah.
And now we're on to the third binary decision.
Correct. Yeah. And then, okay, we are in a down leg. Are we near the bottom of the range or not? Yes or no? Okay, so we are near let's say we are not near the bottom of the range. Can I go with the leg? Yes or no? So if, for example, we are reversing from the top of a trading range, we are in a bear leg above the moving average. If there is enough distance to support, which is the moving average itself, or the bottom of the trading range, and the signal looks good, maybe I can short for a scalp. But the other thing is that you don't want this to get very deep, right?
Right.
These are called ordered binary decision trees, OBDT. And with these OBDTs, you really don't want to have many layers here.
Mm.
So maybe 5 or 6 is the most. You can say the first one doesn't count because it's a environment switching decision, bear or bull.
Right.
But once you get to your first point in that market regime, then you probably don't want more than 4 or 5 down here.
Right.
Because then it gets too long to make a decision. But as far as seeing an actual one, here's one. So the breakout process, for example, the flow chart for the breakout process. So you have a new bar on the chart, and it looks like it's a breakout bar. We're going to call it NBB, new breakout bar. And then the next bar forms. Your immediate decision is it pulling back or not? Okay. So if it is not pulling back, it becomes a breakout gap. And then you wait for the next bar. So this loop constantly continues as long as the breakout is progressing, because you're getting new bars and the new bar is not pulling back. It's just going higher and higher.
Right.
All right. Now, if the bar is pulling back, your next decision is it a breakout test or not?
Right.
Or if it is a breakout test, is it a fail or a success? If it is a fail, new NBB, new breakout bar, is a measuring gap. Why? Because think about a breakout. So there was a breakout, went higher, came back down, didn't reach that breakout point. So there's a gap in here now.
Right.
So if the breakout test fails, it starts to go up.
Right.
New leg in the direction of the breakout. If it is a success, it means the breakout gap closed. NBB is an exhaustion gap, this bar that we are thinking about.
Mm.
The pullback is not considered a new breakout, and it is a breakout gap itself.
That's all.
And one more leg in the direction of the breakout down or sideways is expected.
Right.
But you have to sit down and do this in detail for everything that you're intending to trade.
Right. And these are things that you have to have written down in detail and
Yeah.
then practiced so that you can actually work through it as you
Correct.
see it during the day.
Actually, you do it in your deliberate practice first.
Right.
So going back to what I showed you. So the first step is concept definition. You define your concept.
Right.
All right. Once you have that clearly defined, and clarity is for you, you have to understand it.
Right.
So you have this, then you decide on how you make these decisions. You write it down and make it more close to the concept itself. Like this is for a breakout. There's another very old slide that I did years ago for breakouts.
Oh,
This is
wow.
more complex, but at any point you just have two decisions, right?
Right.
We don't have one of these diamonds with 3 arrows going out. There's one input and 2 outputs. One input and 2 outputs. So you make your decision tree, and then you look at the charts and find as many as you think it's appropriate, 10 days, 20 days, doesn't matter. It depends on how much practice you want to get.
Right.
Load them up into your simulator and put your documents in front of you, because initially they're probably not memorized yet. So you have to have a visual reference, and then start trading it and explore the feelings that come up. Do you see roadblocks in your execution? There's a bit of psychology here. If you are trying to start a new trade and you feel unhappy about that setup, you are going to mess it up. So happiness is an enabler in trading. And the best way to get it is through lots of practice, so that once I see this, I know the probabilities, then you feel happy and excited about taking that trade.
Right.
So your subconscious mind wouldn't come to your rescue to prevent you from taking that trade. Because if you are doing something that's going to hurt you, your self-preservation, your subconscious mind is going to come to your rescue and prevent you from taking that action. And in trading, it will result in delays, missing trades, screwing up the trade management, hanging on to losers longer than necessary, all of those things.
Right.
But if you feel happy and excited about the thing that you're going to trade, and you have really clearly clarified it for yourself, as I showed you, by having a very well thought out and documented process for your actions, then there is going to be no fear. And that happiness allows you to not get tunnel visioned. So you have all your mental resources available for your actions, for your trading, and it will eventually lead to successful trading.